right?
Yeah, you sound good.
That's as far as it'll really go, to be honest. What is that, proper 12?
Heineken.
I hate beer.
Well, we can go ahead and start. Welcome back to another episode of the Slowburn Show, episode number 15, where I have a different little backdrop than normal. I'm out in Charleston, South Carolina, on a work trip. How have you been, Kobe? How's your weekend been so far?
Oh, it's been great. I got a haircut. I don't know how I feel about it, but I'm sure to be all right.
Um, I don't really have any MMA topics this week because was planning on having Janaid and X on the pod for this episode, but I got back from the work trip last night and was too tired, so I did not want to do that. But we can get into the fights for this weekend. We have Kron Gracie versus Charles Jourdain for the first fight on the main card. Who do you got?
Said Charles Jourdain. Is that what was the other guy?
Yeah.
I'm going with that guy. The only reason I'm going with that guy is because I saw Gracie. That only video I saw, Cejudo made that like joke, and then he's like, dude turned into a douchebag and just like kind of left. I'm just kind of like, you know what? That's bad vibes.
I don't
He gets
even.
knocked out.
You saw the video. I don't even know exactly what happened there.
They were just signing posters, and Cejudo said, "Damn, I look good." And the guy left, and he said, "Let me know when he's done. Then I'll come," or something like. Thought he was too slow.
Yeah, he seemed a little agitated. I mean, did you see what they were saying at the press conference?
I did not.
Uh,
Honestly, forgot that there was a pay-per-view this week. I
yeah,
thought it was just another fight night.
Kron was saying, or no, Charles Jourdain was saying that it's going to be like a striker versus grappler type matchup, and that Kron Gracie is going to try and take him down, and Jourdain is going to try and put some knuckles in his face. Is what he said.
I'm all for that.
Did you watch
Another good fucking fight.
Kron Gracie versus Cub Swanson?
Did not. This is the first time I've ever heard of Gracie. This Gracie guy.
Kron, did you watch Royce Gracie back in the day, the UFC one?
Yeah.
Did you see how he would always like try to like do like a teep, like he would try to like do a front kick to like keep his opponents away, and then all of a sudden he would do a double leg or a pull guard. And Kron fights just like that, honestly. Like he's very keeps his guard very tight, and he just tries to throw his front legs out there to try and get the people to back up. He fights with pressure, and then he tries to take them down. But Cub Swanson pieced him up. He like didn't get taken down at all, while Kron was trying to like pull guard on him and take him down and stuff, but he couldn't even do it. So that's why I'm gonna pick Charles. I think Charles is gonna beat him. If he can just follow the same game plan that Cub Swanson did, then he'll do all right. But who's your final pick? You said
Charles.
Charles. We're both going with
Good
Charles. Now,
he got a cool nickname. Air.
is that his name?
Air.
Air Jourdain.
Air Charles Jourdain.
That like Air Jordan, but Air Jourdain. I think that's what he's trying to do.
Probably Charles Air Jourdain. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
The next fight I'm not really into because it's just weird. You got Movsar Evloev. How would you say it?
Evloev? I don't know.
Versus Diego Lopez, and Bryce Mitchell was supposed to be the guy fighting him, but he had to pull out. Yeah, did you see?
Oh yeah.
Did you see him post on his Instagram like that? He had something like purple
that
right
purple
here.
Stuff?
Yeah, I heard someone say it was like horse healing powder, and I don't think that was it.
I don't know. The last fight I saw with Bryce Mitchell did not look good. I thought Bryce Mitchell was good, a good fighter. I don't know. It could have just been that fight, but when he fought Ilya Taporia, they did not look at the same level.
He said he had the flu when he fought him, which I mean, it could have played a factor, but it could have not. I mean, that could have just been him trying to make an excuse for why he lost. But Diego Lopez, he's fought in the Contender Series before, but he lost his Contender Series, so he didn't get the contract. And now he's coming off 2 wins in Lux Fighting League, which I've never watched any of their fights, but both finishes, and he's coming to fight an undefeated Russian. So I don't know if he can pull that off, but I'm gonna say that he doesn't, and I think I'm gonna pick the Russian on this one.
I'm going with the
Movsar.
16-0.
I think it's Movsar.
Movsar.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Russian. 16-0. looking
Yeah.
like it's the guy from Rocky, you know,
Mhm.
big blonde guy. I feel like that's what it'll be like. He'll murder him like Apollo.
We but for the next one we got Jessica Andrade versus Jeannon. I don't know how to say it, bro. How do you say her last name? I've heard
Oh,
John Anik say it. He'll say like
Xiaonan, Yan Xiaonan.
Yan Jianan. Anyways, Yan, but not the Russian one. This is
Yeah,
a
I
Chinese
don't think
lady.
Jessica's fighting the
She's a Chinese
brother.
lady. Who do you think's winning this one?
I'm going with Jessica Andrade.
Why?
I don't know. I think I've watched her last two fights or last fight, and I thought she looked good in her last fight, striking wise. She lost. She fought Aaron Blanchfield last, right?
Yeah, and that was the main event at the Apex
I still liked her fight before that one too. I remember watching that one. I
against
thought she
Lauren
looked good, so
Murphy.
I'm gonna go with her again.
Yeah, she
Who was
beat
it?
up Lauren Murphy really bad. I thought they
Yeah.
should
Oh
have
yeah, that
stopped
one was
that fight.
bad.
But Yan Nan is coming off a victory of Mackenzie Dern, and she looked really good in that. I think Mackenzie needs to work on her striking so much. And she's with Jason Perillo down in California, and he's like a big boxing guy, so I don't know how her striking hasn't leveled up. She's really good at like keeping a pace and being aggressive, but she just gets pieced up. She's my favorite like women's MMA fighter active at least.
Mhm.
Um, but even with Jan beating her, I don't think she's gonna beat Jessica. And we talked about last time when Jessica fought Aaron, and we talked about it on the pod. We said that Jessica has never lost to anybody that like sucked. She only loses to like these
Good
superstars.
fighters.
Yeah, these superstars in women's MMA. So I don't think Jan is of that caliber that she's at the top level. So I'm gonna say that Jessica wins. So we both or but have picked the same person on the first three fights. But I think the co-main event has a lot of people split with Bilal Muhammad and
Yeah,
Gilbert.
I like both of these fighters.
Who do you got?
I feel like I got Gilbert Burns. I don't know. I just feel like I got him. I feel like he's gonna win another decision.
Uh,
I and then I saw a picture of Bilal's foot. Looks really swollen.
when did you see that?
Last night on Twitter, it was like his picture. It could have been an old picture. I don't know.
I haven't
He was
been
like doing
able.
his pictures and they
I haven't been
looked at
able to
his
make
ankle.
like a solid pick on this fight at all. I keep going back and forth between who I think is gonna win. Uh, when it comes to like stand up, I think Bilal's better at when it comes to striking. But I think
Mm-hmm.
Gilbert has more power, so like that could be like a they can neutralize if that makes sense. When it
Isn't Gilbert also a good like submission guy?
yeah, he's super good at
But his last couple fights, I haven't seen him even like try to grapple.
he grappled Jorge the whole time. And he
Yeah, well,
submitted
I
Neil
guess I don't
Magny.
remember that one.
And he submitted Neil Magny. He took him down in the first
Really, I thought
round.
he knocked Neil Magny out.
No, he submitted him with an arm triangle. But
Uh,
anyways, when it comes to grappling, I don't know who I would say is better. I think Bilal might be the better wrestler, but Gilbert has the better jiu-jitsu. So it's like, which discipline do you think is better? You're taking Gilbert?
hmm
All right. Well, I think we're gonna pick the same person on the main event too. So I think I'm gonna go with you. I was picking Bilal going into this,
Me too. I was.
going into this podcast, but now you're making me switch up and want to pick Gilbert. So we're both gonna pick Gilbert Burns, and I think I could pick or guess who you're gonna pick in the main event. But let me know who you got in Henry Cejudo versus Aljamain.
I got Triple C.
Yeah, same.
Triple C.
A big part of the reason why I'm picking Cejudo is because of that future I put at the beginning of the year that he's the featherweight champ by the end of
Oh
December
yeah.
31st. So I mean, he has to win this fight, or that's kind of ruined. So he's my lock of the night as well. And when we get to the swing slips, I'll talk about that. But we both are
I know.
taking Henry, right?
But
We're
yeah,
both
yeah,
taking
yeah, yeah,
Henry.
yeah.
Okay. What were you saying?
I was just saying. I was like, for Henry, I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of just like his highlights and then like him versus Demetrius Johnson, like all those, and I was kind of like, you know what, I think I like this guy. I think he can work with Aljamain and the human backpack ordeal. I think they can get to business. I hope it'll be a good fight.
Yeah, I think the co-main event is going to be a really good fight as well.
I feel like the last couple times I've watched Aljo fight, it just hasn't. Besides his rematch versus Heater, I just feel like they've been kind of just boring.
With Aljamain,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of just laying on people for 4 rounds,
yeah, and it was
5 rounds.
we watched Aljamain's last fight with TJ Dillashaw together at Parker's house, right? That was his name?
Connor.
Connor's house.
Yeah,
And
DB for
uh,
Prez.
Aljamain took. It almost seemed like it took him too long to beat up somebody that came into the fight injured.
One arm.
Yeah, TJ
Yeah.
said he dislocated his shoulder like 21 times in camp. They counted,
Oh.
and they still went and fought. And he dislocated the shoulder twice in the fight. They had to pop it back in the middle of the fight, and then it popped out again. So he ended up losing. But I felt like it took him too long to beat up somebody that was like injured. And so you're about to
Yeah.
go against a guy that's won an Olympic gold medal in wrestling, and he's won a UFC title in 2 different weight classes. I know it's been 3 years since he's came back, but look what John Jones did after 3 years of not being in the cage. So yeah,
And I just want to see Henry and Sean O'Malley fight.
Yeah, that'd be a
After
great fight.
like.
I like how Henry set that up too. That he set up like
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat up Aljamain, and he's gonna go beat Sean, and then he's gonna go fight Volkanovski for the 45 belt.
I remember seeing what was his Aljo. I remember seeing him saying like his plans. He only plans to fight like 5 more times maybe.
Yeah, and I mean I don't blame him. If
Yeah.
you can find a way to make a living outside of fighting that makes you the type of money that you need, and once you've made it and you don't feel like you need to compete anymore, don't. Because there's no point in getting hit in the head for no reason. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But off of that, we can move on to the Swink slips. Do you want to hit your Kobe crazy pick before we go into
Pulling it up right now. It's like I think it's a 4-legger. I can't remember. I think
4 legs?
it was just the fights that I knew who people were in on the main card. So let me get it. It is all right. Here it is. All right. I got Charles Jourdain to win by KO/TKO.
I like that.
Plus 130. Jessica Andrade to win by KO/TKO. Plus 275.
That's another good one.
Gilbert to win by KO/TKO. Plus 350. And Aljamain Sterling to win by decision, or Henry Cejudo to win by KO/TKO. Minus 120.
So you have a double chance on the main, and then all the other ones
Yes.
have to just
Double
are one
chance
fighters
on
to
the
get the
main.
finish.
Alternate method of victory. Double chance.
Hell yeah! And what are the
And
final odds on that one?
The odds on that one is plus 7,015.
7,015. So $100. If you bet $100, you win $7,015. Which would be pretty dope if we hit that. I think it would bring you into the positive on the year if that hits. So.
Oh yeah.
I think the matchmaking, besides maybe the Kron Gracie versus Charles Jourdain fight and the Movsar Evloev versus Diego Lopez, those matchmakings are kind of like iffy. But the last 3 fights are match made very well. So I didn't want to like bounce around and pick like a bunch of different fights to bet on. So I wanted to narrow it down to just the main event mainly and the co-main event. So my lock of the night is Henry Cejudo at minus 115, which I wish I got him at a lower line, like a plus line, before he jumped up to the favorite, because when they opened the lines on this fight, Henry was the underdog. He was like a plus 115 or plus 120, and now he's a minus 115. I think Aljo's minus 105 or minus 110.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I'm still, even with those lines, I still will pick Henry as my lock of the night. So I'll risk 115 for $100 there, and then my prop of the night is also on this fight. How Henry said he was going to get it under 3 rounds. Well, I'm going to put my money on that as well if he says that. So there's a line for under 3.5 rounds at plus 300. So if you risk $100, you'll win $300 on that one. And then my third one and last one, I didn't do too many bets on this card. Was they started a new section on DraftKings where you can bet on a point spread on the fight.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I thought I might as well just do it as my Slowburn slick pick at Bilal at plus 5.5. I think if he loses, I mean, we have you and your Kobe crazy pick. One of the legs is Gilbert getting a KO, but with we kind of will hedge it. I can hedge it a little bit with Bilal on this spread because he's the underdog. I think the lines have kind of jumped around a little bit, but he's a plus 5.5. So if the fight goes to decision and there's no 10-8s, so there's no 10-8s by Gilbert, and Bilal loses, the bet still cashes. So that's pretty nice. But if Bilal loses every round and gets 10-8 one of them, then the bet will not cash if he loses by decision. So
I don't know.
I got that
think
line at minus 160. So if Gilbert gets a knockout, I'll be happy. If Bilal loses a decision or even wins, if he wins, the bet still cashes as well. So I like hedging that one a little bit. But that's pretty much it. That one was at minus 160. I think I said that already. So risk 160 for 100. You got any closing thoughts or anything else about this card that you're excited for? I'm excited for Drew Dober versus Matt Frevola.
Yeah, I saw that one. I was gonna say I saw Drew Dober. I have like a parlay going with Drew Dober winning his fight.
Chaos Williams is on the card as well. Trying to think if there's anybody else, but I don't think so.
Who's the next pay-per-view after this?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think. It's not 25, right? Brandon's not fighting Pantoja next, right? Or no, it's Nunes. It's Nunes versus Irene Aldana.
Yeah.
In Vancouver.
And then isn't Oliveira versus Dariush?
Yep, that's on there, which kind of saves that whole card, honestly, because I'm really just excited for that one, not the main event. Amanda Nunes is probably just going to beat Irene Aldana's ass. But I don't really got anything else, so we can leave on that one. I appreciate everybody watching. As always, episode number 15. We out. See ya.